me, Obi-Wan Kenobi. You're my only hope.
Nope. Greetings, Star Wars Stackers. How you doing? Stacking Stormtrooper here. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing. I talk all things precious metals, prepping, and Star Wars. Today's video is going to be about go bags. I did a video about everyday carry bags, a bag that I have with me no matter where I go, even if I'm just going to Lowe's. Today I had a T-ball with my son. I grabbed my everyday carry bag, threw it in the trunk of my car, and went to his T-ball. But I carry that bag with me wherever I go just in case of an emergency. Back in 2003, there was that blackout that affected a big part of the Northeast, and I was very unprepared for that event. So with all of the hurricanes that we've been experiencing, and we started to see how devastating these hurricanes are becoming, and they're happening more and more frequently, I figured, you know what, it's better safe than sorry to have a go bag. If there's ever an emergency where you just have to take off and go, I've got a go bag, okay? And today's video is very, very important. Please consider watching it through its entirety. I did a lot of research on this, and I think that all this information can really, really help you. Or if you happen to have a go bag, perhaps you'll get some ideas from this video. But I'm actually going to unpack this, and I will show you all what I have, and let's just take a look. So I'm just going to kind of walk through this whole thing without really any specific order, but I think that everything inside this pack is extremely important. First thing I have here on the front, I've got two actually bug out bags, and I'll do the second one on another video. But because I am a family of four, I have two children, so I figured that I would put supplies in this bag for myself and my one child, and then my wife would put supplies in her bag for herself and my second child. So right here, I've got this carabiner that attached to it, if there was ever a situation that I needed to get out of here in a hurry, I have one of these waterproof cases that has a picture of my son on it. And if he ever got separated, there is an emergency whistle on here, and this lanyard goes over his neck, and he wears it like a necklace. And then there's pictures of the family in here, all of us together. And inside here is a emergency, and I'll put this to the side because it has his name on it. But in here, in case of emergency, there's a whole list of phone numbers, emergency contacts, blood types, so on and so forth. So that is just extremely important. You have a 3-year-old kid that's lost or separated, he's not going to know what his blood type is. He's not going to know the phone number for grandma or grandpa or mommy and daddy necessarily. So important phone numbers are in here, as well as other information in case we ever got separated. Also on the pack, I've got these other molly webbing carabiners that are good just to attach anything on here. You could buy these and just attach them anywhere that you have molly webbing. I forget the exact brand for this bag, but you know, you just go on Amazon and you look at the different ratings, and you would be all set. Also, you'll see on the other side of the bag here, I've got a canteen, just so that way if you needed to fill it with water, obviously. That is on the outside of the pack. Getting on to the inside of the backpack, and you're going to have to bear with me because there's quite a few items in here. But I have all sorts of things in here. I've got this pocket reference guide that has information from, different types of nuts and bolts dimensions to SOS and Morse code signaling and different measurements. I mean, this thing was fairly expensive. And I got it off of Amazon, I believe. I forget how much I spent on this, but this pocket reference guide could come in handy at some point. I've got another one of those. Also, I have another case similar to that of my son's. Inside, I have cash in here. Small bills, mainly. Some 20s, lots of 10s, 1s, 5s. Pictures of the family with names inside here. I have a lighter. Again, this is a waterproof thing. And I have a AA battery inside. So I will put I'll leave the pictures in there. And the lighter, the battery, pictures will stay there. Comes with that lanyard, okay? So that's that. Also, I've got a small sewing kit, writing utensils, pen, Sharpie, pencil, can't go wrong there. I got a Write in the Rain notepad right here. Again, and I also put in important phone numbers inside. This is waterproof. You get this wet, the water beads off, rolls right off, but there's important phone numbers, emergency contacts, and this is just a good thing to have. Let's see, I think, does that do that for, yep, that's it for that pocket. This pocket up here, I've got a map. You guys should put a map in your bug out bag, just of your area. I put it in this Ziploc bag just to keep it dry, but you know what? If there's an shtf situation and GPS is down, you've got a map. Also, I've got the hand towels. These expand. I showed this in a previous video in my EDC bag, but I have those hand towels there. Just get them wet. They expand. They're very sturdy, durable. Got a headlamp. Again, you could get decent headlamps off of Amazon, relatively cheap. It has different settings. It has emergency setting. So get yourself a good headlamp, put that on there. I also talk about having an emergency pair of protective eyewear. So I just grabbed these sunglasses, got them in there. What else do I have? Another flashlight. Again, guys, like I said in a previous video, there's a saying in the prepping community, 2 is 1. 1 is none. So you're better off to have doubles of everything just in case one thing fails, at least you have a backup. Moving on to this pocket here, I have an emergency poncho just in case, again, of heavy rain. I have, and then I have an emergency blanket. Am I still recording? Yes, I am. I have an emergency blanket, just in case of shock and awe. All right, here I've got just like a small kit of sanitary sanitary supplies. We've got a toothbrush, a couple toothbrushes here, some floss, Q-tips, Purell, chapstick, and some soap. Okay, so you never know how long this shtf situation could go on for, so it's good to have at least something. Also, I have in here some 5-hour energy. I don't remember putting that in there, but I'm kind of glad I did. Also, I have this roll that is clothes wrapped up in a couple pairs of socks. So you put the roll in here. It's got a t-shirt, a pair of underwear. You roll it real tight, put the sock like this and wrap it around, and put that right there. What else? Yeah. Just some, I have some Cliff Bars. I've got other stuff in here in terms of food too, some MREs. But I got some Cliff Bars in here. And guys, just make sure you're checking the expiration of your food. But I've got the Cliff Bars, and this plastic bag then obviously can be reused. Now let's get down in here. Try not to dox myself in the process. I'm not doing this with my helmet on. Are you kidding me? No way. This thing kind of opens up real nice. Okay, I've talked about these life straws in a previous video. Water filtration is key. These life straws get rid of 99.9999% of bacteria, protozoa like Giardia, and it filters up to 1,000 liters or 264 gallons. So you know what? Just as crucial. I mean, we all know that water is a crucial thing to have, especially in an shtf situation. Roll of toilet paper. Okay, I got another thing of chapstick right here. And then here's, again, some MRE SOS emergency bars. Each one of these is about, forget how many, I don't know, it's like a couple thousand calories. But it has 5-year shelf life. So this goes bad 2022. So make sure you consider having, some MREs. And that's that. Now going into the back. All right, and I'm going to have to try to remember how I pack this all up real good. But again, in the case of an shtf situation, you want to have not only just protective eyewear, headwear, but let me fix this flag here. Come on now. But also for breathing, right? You never know what kind of situation you're going to be in, whether it be fire and there's a lot of ash, or God forbid, some other sort of disaster. Now, this isn't going to help you with like a chemical attack or something. That's not what I'm talking about, but just something to help you with breathing. I also have a handkerchief for the same reason. I've got a baseball cap. Okay. Got a first aid kit. This first aid kit is a Vanquist first aid kit. It's got the scissors. It's got some bug repellent. And I just unzip this. And, again, this is good for... I have a tourniquet in here and some gauze. There's more chapstick, ointment, pain reliever, so allergy medicine. And if you have any sort of ailment or suffer from any particular illness, it's very important that you consider keeping some of your medication in your kit, because if you don't have your meds and you're in some sort of situation, you can't get to your medicine, you are going to be in trouble. So make sure that you've got some medicine with you in your kit. This is kind of like the electronics section. I just have some batteries, a charger here that can charge both AAA and AA. So I've got the rechargeable batteries of different sizes here. And again, 2 is 1, 1 is none. Important to have multiples. This is an emergency flashlight. It's waterproof, but it's one of those crank radios. It's got different adapters for charging, but I keep one of these in the kit as well. During Hurricane Sandy, I actually used a hand crank radio. That came in handy for sure. I was so glad that I had it. My neighbors and I used it. We were fortunate that we were only without power for about 4 days, but still, so you just have some contact with the outside world and get the news and as to what's going on. This is paracord. Very important. You could use cordage for really just about anything. And this spool tool has a blade here to cut it. I also has a holder here for a lighter. And as you can see, I have a second lighter here. Going again by the 2 is 1, 1 is none mantra. Let's see what else I have inside this kit. All right. Getting down here. This is my fire kit. Different ways of making fire. Here you can see that this is not only a waterproof kit, but it's got another lighter. In here, it's got lifeboat matches, a flint and fire starter, different types of matches, strike on anything matches. In my everyday carry bag, I also happen to have cotton balls soaked and smothered with Vaseline, and that stuff just lights really, really, really well. So it's good to have different types of methods to make fire. Duct tape. Duct tape is also something that can come in handy in many situations. I just took the duct tape, put it over an old credit card, wrapped it around many, many times. So you can't go wrong with having a little bit of duct tape too. I've got a hatchet. Okay, this hatchet, you could wear it on your hip. You know, again, this is something that's important. You know, you need to cut something if you're blocked by something on the road. It also has a fire starter here. You know, if you never know what you could use. It has a hammerhead side to it as well. But if you ever need to chop at anything, or, you know, self-defense purposes, I mean, you know, you never know. I mean, obviously people who are in the prepping community, many happen to carry firearms. This would lose every single time, but better to have it than not. Okay. I also happen to keep huge black garbage bags, and I have them wrapped, a few of them rolled several times, and then I seal them up and keep them all together by using these reusable zip ties. Okay, so I've got the reusable zip ties, plus I've got the garbage bags. Okay, and getting down to it, got a knife, a big one. That's not a knife. No, that's a knife. Okay, carry this knife on me as well inside the, not on me, but in the kit, but in the go bag. But, you know, again, you never know what problems you're going to have, you know, for an shtf situation. If you need to cut through something that's blocking your way, it's important to have, okay? And in here, it's another poncho. All right. Poncho is good to have, you know, and those garbage bags also have uses. You could make an emergency shelter out of it. But that poncho, then I have in there another poncho. This one would be for my son, right? So I got a poncho, a heavy duty poncho for me, one for him, and then a tarp. All right, and it's also one of those reflective tarps. On the inside, you've got the metallic side that can reflect heat and keep you warm, but it's also got the emergency orange side. So I have a tarp in there as well. Oh, it just keeps on going. There's more in here. Look at that. A survival blanket, just in case of the elements happen to be cold out. Got the emergency blanket that's good for 1 to 2 people. Just an extra strap, extra garbage bags, and in this pocket, more emergency blankets. Okay. Oh, I'm running out of room. All right. Put them right there. Emergency blankets. Okay. A good compass. All right, got a compass to tell direction. All right, so this one was reviewed by thousands of people. Very good compass. So I got one for myself, and I have one in my wife's go bag. All right, so compass is also very important. You know, you can't just do navigation with a map. Okay, multi-tool. Got a multi-tool. Again, you never know what type of situation you're going to have where you're going to need a screwdriver, pliers, clippers, wire cutters, whatever. So I've got the multi-tool, more zip ties, and that, I think, completes the pack, okay? So, guys, again, I think that this video is extremely important. I hope that you guys take away something from this. If you don't have a go bag already, you really should consider putting one together. Okay, and feel free to reach out to me if you have any questions about any of this stuff that I purchased. I'll get right back to you. Drop a note in the comment down below. But you know what? Remember to keep stacking, keep prepping. Long live the Empire.